Okay, I'm sitting in my dorm room here at Oxford University in England, where I'm back at summer school, as usual. They give me the dorm room to work in when I'm not in class, which is very kind, which is why also there's nothing here. But being here at Oxford, I always have an opportunity to think about video and video journalism. And the question for today, and it's a really important question, is why is video journalism, for the most part, so absolutely appallingly bad? And it's unusual because it shouldn't be that way. If you went to the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York and you took out all the paintings in the museum and stacked them up on Fifth Avenue, the pile wouldn't be very high. And you would have in that thing, you would have Michelangelos, and you would have Van Goghs, and you would have Rembrandts, and you would have Matisse, and whatever your taste is. Genius. In the world of painting, genius stuff. My question is, where are the Michelangelos and the Rembrandts in the world of video, and particularly video journalism? You can't find them. Find me one person that you can go to and look at that video. That is the Michelangelo, that is the Picasso, that is the Rembrandt of video. It doesn't exist. Why doesn't it exist? Because we make crap. We make banal crap all the time, which is really kind of weird because we got the camera, we got the time, we got 3.5 billion people have smartphones. They can all make video. It should be better, but it isn't. It's generally mediocre, banal, insipid, boring garbage. I mean, I don't want to be cruel, but let's be perfectly honest. It's all pretty crummy stuff, and it's disappointing. Why is that? Why is that? Here's what I think is the answer, right? If you look at the world of painting, right, and you want to be Picasso, a genius painter, unquestionably. How did Picasso work? He woke up in the morning when he was like 9 years old. He took a paintbrush and he started to paint or draw, and maybe he made crap and maybe he made great stuff. But what allowed him to be creative, it was him and the brush, and that's all there was. You look at the world of music, if you like, Ed Sheeran or Eric Clapton or Paul Simon or whatever your thing is, the way they work is they get up, and when Paul McCartney was 12 years old and he met John Lennon, they sat in his little house and they played the guitar, and that's where great music comes from. It comes from creative people who have the tool and just do stuff, but they don't have any parameters and limits about what they can do. If you look at the world of literature, whether you like D.H. Lawrence or JK Rowling or whatever your thing is I like Philip Roth. The way writers work is they get up in the morning, they sit down at the typewriter or the word processor, or they got a pencil, and they just start to write. Tolstoy, and so sometimes it's good, and most of the time it's crap, but that's where genius comes from in terms of writing. If you look at the world of sculpture, whether you're Brancusi or you're Michelangelo, you wake up and you get yourself a chunk of marble or steel and you start to bang it out, and it's you and the chisel, and that's all that there is. In the world of video, it's you and the phone. But we don't have Brancusi of video. We don't have Michelangelo of video. How come we don't have that? Because even though we have this fantastic piece of technology, we tend to use it to ape what somebody did before. When they had a cameraman, a sound man, a producer, all the complications and accoutrements that crushes creativity. I mean, if Picasso, every time he wanted to paint a painting, had a book, the paintbrush guy, the director, the producer, the canvas person, he would also make crap paintings if he made any paintings at all because it's so expensive and so complicated. So that crippled video production since its birth, this necessity of having the camera person, the sound person, the director. Every time I hear the word DP, it makes me feel like throwing up. Now suddenly we've liberated the medium. In other words, it's just you and your phone. The problem is you take the phone and you replicate what you see on CNN, which is a crazy thing to do. Why do we do that? Because we're afraid. We're afraid that we're going to make something that's bad. And this fear comes from the institutional notion of the film and television business. You want to make a movie, it's going to cost you $20 million, $50 million, $100 million, $500 million. You don't want to mess it up. So you make it exactly the way somebody made it before. Same thing goes with television programs. You book for $250,000 or $500,000 for your documentary. You're going to be very careful in terms of how you make it because you don't want to make something bad. We have no element of risk. We have an enormous fear of failure, and that fear of failure crushes our creativity. If you're a writer, you sit down and you bang out 5 pages, you read it and you go, this sucks. You throw it out, it doesn't cost anything. Well, in the days when you had to book the crew and book the edit and book the DP and all that stuff, You couldn't do that. You couldn't shoot for 5 days and go, you know what, guys? This sucks. Let's start all over again. But now, when you're a painter, you can do that. When you're a writer, you can do that. When you're a sculptor, you can do that. You couldn't do that in video. And so we carry this curse with us about not messing up. Well, by not messing up, we keep replicating the same crap we've been making since like 1972. And that's a big mistake. So what am I trying to tell you? A, freedom to fail. You can mess up all day long. So go take your phone and go do something nuts. Go spin the camera and go do something crazy. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't work. That's the only way we'll get any better. You know, evolution doesn't happen from A to B to C. Evolution happens because nature makes a million possibilities. 999,999 die because it was a bad idea. But the one that survives becomes the next iteration in this Darwinian sense of constantly evolving forward. As a medium, we will only evolve. Video journalism will only evolve unless we are willing to take risks and mess up. But so take a risk. It doesn't cost anything. And hopefully, if we have millions of people making mistakes and taking risks all the time, we'll eventually have some breakouts where we go, you know what? That's a lot different than just the police tape and the stand-up and the B-roll and all the crap. I look at these training courses that some people do for mojo. I could kill myself because all they're doing is they're crushing people and saying, here's the rules, here's what you got to do, and make it look like it looks like on local news, and we'll all be fine. We won't all be fine. We're going to continue to make mediocrity. So here's my advice for today. Go nuts. Take a chance. Mess up. I give you freedom to fail. And if it looks good, send it to me. I always want to see stuff. Bye.